Commander Honglan is the first true skill check in Wuchang Fallen Feathers. Up until now, the bosses you faced were likely much easier to handle, but this fight demands precision and patience. The in-game tutorial suggests using abilities with clash or deflect properties, but if you're anything like me, figuring out how to use the clash mechanic effectively can feel like solving a puzzle blindfolded. I gave the longsword deflection a solid try. While it's theoretically viable, mastering it takes hours and doesn't get me far, especially during the second phase of the fight, so I wouldn't recommend relying on that. Fortunately, after one broken keyboard and a handful of rage-fueled trial runs, I finally cracked a solid build and found an easier, more consistent way to take this boss down. So ladies and gentlemen, let's start by assembling the build first. Then I will break down Honglan's most dangerous moves, and we will wrap the things up with a not-so-clean but very satisfying kill. I'm using the one-handed sword Dark Frost Edge, enhanced to +2. This weapon is the core of the strategy thanks to its unique skill, Evasive Maneuver, which lets you automatically dodge incoming attacks. It has slightly lower spell power than the one-handed Astral Blade, but against a relentlessly aggressive boss like Honglan, safety takes priority. For benedictions, I've used the following. Skyborn Wrath, which reduces damage taken for a short time after acquiring Skyborn Might. This can help you surviving Honglan's more explosive combos. Lasting Alacrity, which extends the damage avoidance window when triggering Alacrity. Our damage will be coming from a spell that can activate this effect consistently, and it will help you stay out of reach. Skyborn Magic will boost your spell damage for a short time after gaining Skyborn Might, enhancing your offensive potential. For armor, I focused specifically on slash and stab defense and opted for the Ming armor set. It helps you take a few extra hits against Honglan's attack types and keeps you standing through the chaos. As for pendants, I won't waste time diving into details, just copy and paste them. Most of them offer additional damage mitigation. Honestly, I use them because I don't have anything better. The middle pendant boosts stamina recovery, and it's a lifesaver if you find yourself out of stamina at the worst possible moments. Let's shift our focus to the centerpiece of this build, Echo of Lu Bingjiang. This spell lets you hurl a spear that deals feathering damage, and more importantly, it can trigger Alacrity. Alacrity acts as an automatic defensive state, and if you're attacked while casting, it generates Skyborn Might. To quickly demonstrate how it works, when cast, your character jumps backward and throws the spear. That jump alone is often enough to pull you out of the boss attack range. But even if you don't fully evade the hit physically, Alacrity kicks in and provides automatic defense during the casting window. I'm also using the Bone Needle magic. When applied through tempering, it boosts spell damage, specifically not general magic or feathering damage tied to your weapon. That subtle distinction matters here because our setup relies heavily on maximizing spell damage output. Next, let's look at the Impetus repository tree. You can copy and paste the build as is, but I'll walk you through the essential nodes to understand how it all works. For context, my character is level 34. If you're underleveled, I'll point out which nodes you can sacrifice while maintaining the build's core functionality. You should ideally be around level 30 to run it effectively. We'll start with the one-handed sword side of the tree. First up is Biting Time. This node grants passive Skyborn Might generation, making it much easier to sustain your spellcasting without relying on frequent hits or timing gimmicks. From there, follow the path down through the feathering nodes. This is where the bulk of your damage will be coming from. The route also conveniently takes you past Swiftblade, make sure you take it. Just keep heading right toward Ascending Wrath, which is a mandatory pick but doesn't help with anything. Then continue downward and toward the right. You'll pass Swiftblade again, take this one as well. Whether you invest 1 point or all 3, doesn't matter. After that, continue through the Feathering Nod's path to unlock the 2 big +5 spell damage nodes. These are critical. They provide the backbone of your overall damage output. On the left side of the tree, start with Elusive. This node allows you to generate Skyborn Might by dodging at the right time, which fits perfectly with the reactive nature of this fight. From there, path left into Skyborn Call, which boosts your maximum Skyborn Might, giving you more breathing room for spell usage and buffs. Next are Mana Potency and Mana Capacity. They're not essential since Commander Honglan won't give you much time to use potions, But dropping a single point into each isn't a bad idea if you've got room in the build. Then pick up Alacrity. While above 50% madness, using Alacrity grants 1 stack of Skyborn Might. This works with auto-dodge mechanics built into certain spells, such as Echo of Wuchang. Follow up with Unbroken Focus. While your madness stays above 90%, the passive buff from Biding Time, which normally builds from 1 to 8 stacks, won't drop below 3. That gives you a much more consistent generation of Skyborn Might, and is highly recommended for sustained pressure. Next, path left and downward to Fury of the Skyborn. This reduces the cost of Echo-type spells by 1. Normally, Echo of Wuchang costs 3 Skyborn Might, but thanks to this node, it's reduced to 2, making it far more efficient. Definitely a mandatory pick. And don't worry, you'll be sitting above 50% madness most of the time, so the synergy stays active. Also, be sure to get Bone Needle Magic. When tempered, it grants a spell damage buff. Just a reminder, this is how you get the blue needle from earlier. Finally, path left all the way to Skyborn Call 3. If you're below level 34, you can sacrifice the fettering nodes beneath it. They're nice to have, but the build functions perfectly fine without them. You'll just be doing slightly less damage. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. It's time to test the build in action. Before you enter the fight, make sure to cast the Temperance buff, then immediately jump down to initiate the encounter. Now, the basic playstyle here is pretty straightforward. Keep a medium distance and either dodge or use evasive maneuvers to avoid Honglan's attacks as you build up Skyborn Might. Once you've built enough, fire spears directly at her to deal large chunks of damage. Avoid melee combat altogether, it's simply not worth it. Even though you can disengage easily with dodge or evasive maneuvers, the risk-to-reward ratio is poor, and it won't pay off in the long run. Dodge has the advantage of not consuming any Skyborn Might if the incoming attack would have missed anyway. Evasive maneuvers, on the other hand, last longer and offer significantly more safety. If you're feeling confident, stick to dodge. But if things get chaotic or you're unsure, lean on evasive maneuvers. Personally, I found it much easier to dodge her attacks when she was at range. When she closed the gap, I switched to evasive maneuvers. I just wasn't comfortable trying to dodge her long, erratic combos up close. One of the moves you'll see often in this fight is Honglan's charge attack. You'll actually want to maintain distance consistently, specifically to bait her into using it as frequently as possible. That's because it's one of the easiest moves to deal with. I found that dodging toward her works well. Her momentum will carry her past you, creating a solid opening to land a spell. That single tactic alone is often enough to get you through Phase 1. Once Phase 2 begins, Honglan empowers her blades with water and starts casting ranged spells. The transition animation is a backflip, followed by 2 water blade projectiles. Dodging them is tricky because she uses 3 distinct variants: vertical slash, diagonal slash, and horizontal slash. I found the dodge timing for the vertical and diagonal versions to be pretty similar. However, the horizontal slash feels slightly delayed. It comes in just a moment later. Evasive maneuvers are absolutely your best friend here. Those are the key moves that stood out to me and gave me the most trouble. Now, with that in mind, here's the full fight. And there you have it. Commander Honglan was a true test of patience and precision. Defeating her may have cost me one keyboard, literally. But with the right build, steady nerves, and well-timed strikes, she was brought to her knees. So, ladies and gentlemen, if this guide helped you out, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And if you're looking for more Wuchang Fallen Feathers content, check out the video appearing on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.